Hey guys, welcome back to X-Men Games. So last time I spoke about 5 things F1 2020 got right and wrong, so I'll leave the link for those down in the description below if you want to check that out. But today, I will talk about 5 things Watch Dogs got right. Now, I absolutely love open world experiences, I mean, who doesn't? And this extends to action-adventure games such as GTA, Just Cause, and also Watch Dogs. Released in 2014, this game puts a huge emphasis on hacking, cyber, and networks, make you take advantage of the expansive environment around you, but also trying to distinguish yourself from other action open world games such as GTA or Just Cause as mentioned earlier. But first, if you guys haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And once again, a big thanks to all my fantastic subscribers and to everyone who watches these videos. You're all amazing. With that all said, let's get into it. So the first thing that Watch Dogs did right is the fantastic open world and the interactive environment, because it's absolutely brilliant. The game is set in modern day Chicago, well almost modern day, this game was released in 2014, but this game does an absolutely brilliant job at recreating this massive city in stunning detail, and also giving us countryside and city outskirts as well. It did a fantastic job of recreating famous landmarks and neighbourhoods. Here are some examples. I also think the multiple contrasting districts help to give this game some good variety in its environments as well. I think most of the environments that you do missions in this game are absolutely brilliant, especially the ones involving shootouts. Now moving on to the interactive side of the world, the sheer amount of things to utilise in this diverse and interactive environment is baffling. From blowing up fuse boxes and pipes to incapacitate enemies, to using phones and lures to attract enemies to certain areas and distract them, or even changing the environment to provide cover. This game has so many ways of letting you use the environment to your advantage. On top of the environment and basic combat, there are so many things to hack when driving, such as traffic lights, steam pipes, and my personal favourite, bridges, to allow you to get away from enemies during chases. On top of the ability to use the environment to attack your enemies, you can also use it to get to places easier, such as being able to open garage doors to drive through parking areas, or taking control of lifts to climb to certain areas, which I think is really cool. I think the way Ubisoft have thoughtfully designed and crafted this fantastic city, and incorporated such a fantastic gameplay mechanic to allow you to gain the upper hand over your enemies, is something that they should be commended for, because it encourages the player to explore this fantastic and amazing environment, which is definitely something we need to see more in games today. So the next thing off this list is something I think a few people may disagree with me on, and that is the missions. But the reason I've included it on this list is because I think the way most missions in this game are designed and laid out are just absolutely brilliant. I think the missions are so great because of the fantastic gameplay, but I also think they do a fantastic job independently. There are so many missions which allow you to utilise the brilliant combat and interactive environment to your advantage. Missions generally get more action-packed as well as you progress through the story, with the final missions obviously being the most tense and crazy. One thing I like about the missions is how they split up into 5 acts like some sort of Shakespeare play, which is a really nice touch from the developers. On top of the main story missions, there's also some side missions to do. I'm not going to cover all of them because there's quite a lot, but there's some really cool ones like being able to stop crimes in progress, or my favourite, clearing out gang hideouts, which allow you to utilise all your hacking and combat skills, taking advantage of the environment to scare your enemies, and eventually incapacitate them, which is really cool. Overall, I think the missions of this game are really good, filled to the brim with tons of action set pieces that make playing this game really memorable. So the third thing up on this list is the driving, and while many people prefer GTA 5's driving to this game, I think the driving in this game is very, very good. GTA 4's felt clunky and stiff, and presented a good challenge, whilst GTA 5 felt like you were driving on ice and was more arcadey, and both of these types of driving perfectly complement the overall feel of the game, and I think Watch Dogs does exactly the same here, but also finds that comfortable middle ground between those two driving styles. Unfortunately, unlike GTA, you can't do drive-by shooting, which is a bit of a shame, but the replacement is in some ways much better, and that's the ability to hack whilst driving, like I mentioned earlier. Using steam pipes and traffic lights to incapacitate enemies' cars completely, or using blockers and garage doors to stop them following you. There are so many different ways to stop enemies from taking you down, and it really adds to the gameplay in terms of variety. I think overall this game has fantastic driving, and does a really good job of mixing it up to make an enjoyable gameplay experience. So the fourth thing up on this list is something that's a little bit niche and weird, but that is the phone and infantry system, because I think they're just brilliantly laid out. We'll talk about the phone first, because I think that's something that's done really well here, and that's because of its simplicity in terms of its layout, but also because of the brilliant things you can do with it. There are so many amazing things you can do with the phone, such as checking your progression through the main story and side missions, leveling up and improving your skills with the skills tree, looking at your game statistics, and so much more. But one of the coolest and best features of the phone is the car on demand feature. This allows you to purchase cars and have them spawn near you ready to drive, which is just really cool. In terms of inventory, this game doesn't really differ from, say, GTA 5, as it also uses a weapon wheel to change weapon, but what is quite cool and different from GTA is the ability to craft gadgets to help you use, such as grenades and IEDs to take down enemies, jam comms to prevent the police tracking your location or communication between enemies, and lures to distract enemies to a certain location, which is really good for takedowns. I think overall, while Watch Dogs doesn't differ too much from other games like this in terms of inventory, the way it lays out all the weapons and gadgets, as well as all the functions in your phone, really mix up the gameplay and is really, really good. So the fifth and final point in this list is the overall atmosphere and tone, as I think this is something that the game did really well. I think the tone of this game is very gritty and dark, which is made quite apparent by the story and missions, but also the little details here and there. There's a lot of glitching effects used in things like loading screens, which really gives the hacking feel, but there's also really good use of sound effects and ambience, with weird noises sprinkled throughout the game, like hacking sounds and glitching, as I mentioned earlier. While I think the driving soundtrack is quite bad here, I think the general ambience and background music during stealth sections, for example, is really, really good. This game did a fantastic job of conveying a gritty and dark tone, and it's definitely something I have to applaud Ubisoft on for being able to pull it off well. So they were my picks of 5 things Watch Dogs got right. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll of course be doing 5 things Watch Dogs got wrong very soon. And of course, I'll be doing more right and wrong on videos, and I'll also be doing more hopes and expectation videos. And I know I said that I'll be doing GTA 5 and Minecraft next, but I've decided to postpone them for a little bit, as I've decided that they're 2 very big games that I really want to go into a lot of detail and depth with, so they won't be coming for a little while, but they'll still be happening soon. That being said though, the next game I'll be doing a right and wrong on is Hitman, so stay tuned for that. If you guys want to see me do a right and wrong on any games in particular, then please let me know, as I'm always looking for new games to do a right and wrong on. And as I said in some of my previous videos, I'm a huge fan of Batman, so if I reach 25 subscribers, I'll definitely do a right and wrong on Batman Arkham Asylum, and if we reach 50 subscribers, I'll do a right and wrong on Batman Arkham City, and we're so close to 25 at the moment, we're at 22 I believe, so if you haven't already guys, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, that'd be really greatly appreciated, and would really help this channel out a lot. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.